How's it going, guys? Well, I got to thinking about what I want to do to try to fix the steering so it turns the right direction. And I like the setup I got so far. I don't really want, the European side of the car steering thing. It just wouldn't feel right. And so I want to make a gear-to-gear box to put on here. Basically, when you put two gears running teeth to teeth, the other gear ends up turning the opposite direction, and then we'll just go with that route. So, and then when I put this box in the center in here somewhere, I can make mounts to it so that I have a stabilizer at the same time. It's not a big deal. That's just a thing that it could also be, So, well, I got some old four-wheeler transmissions. I'm going to see if we can dig through them and find some gears that'll work. And yeah. Alright, out here at the garage, and I found some gears that this one's 15. I think this one's 18. I think it was. Counted them out. And pretty much I put the steering wheel on this gear and put the rack on this gear, and it'll just give the steering wheel ratio. It won't hurt nothing. It's not that much to matter. But I'm gonna make a box that these will fit in, and also, well, I'll go. Basically, this right here accepts the shaft of the steering, which is be a cut-off piece of the shaft. Fits down in here. I'll machine pieces of this to fit down inside of here, and then weld the back side up. The same way with this one. Make it so it fits, weld one side of it up. And then make two steel plates, drill a hole that this can pass through. And then it won't matter where the steel, as long as the steel plates are big enough that one side can move around like this. After I drill the holes, have the gear sticking through each side. I can just put the two halves together and slide the one steel plate over to where the gears are meshing, and then lock these two steel plates together and weld probably like key stock or something like that all the way around the two halves and sandwich them, and then I can just crop off whatever excess there is to make the box. And then all I gotta do is this will slide in one side of the steering shaft on the go-kart, and the other one can slide on the other end of the steering shaft, and then I just make a bracket to hold the box in place. So that's the plan. Alright, got the little gearbox made for the steering. You can see the gears down in there. So this should do the job. This isn't made to last forever, but it is, just a go-kart. So, it doesn't have bearings or bushings or anything like that, but there's a grease zerk on it, and so that it can be pumped full of grease. And I ain't gonna put grease in it until after I paint the whole thing, and then I'll fill it up. But let's get this guy on there and see how it works. Alright, got the gearbox and everything installed in there, and it's a little tight right now because there's no lube on that joint. There is no grease in that little gearbox. And I'd say if there's anything else I'm going to do, I'm going to put a stabilizer from here down to help this gearbox out so that all the torque isn't going against the gearbox. Probably the only other thing I'm going to do to it, but it works right now. It works. And turns the right directions. It has about 3/4 of a turn, lock to lock, or not lock to lock, center around 3/4 turn, center around 3/4 turn, so about a turn and a half, I think. And here's top, around. Looks like it turns more one way than the other, maybe. I can adjust that out of it. whenever I take this loose. I just tacked it, put the stabilizer in there. I can fix the, so it's the same amount of travel both ways, but I'll do that without annoying you guys with it. Next up, we'll get this thing turned around in here and start putting the rear end in it. It's getting closer and closer, so something else I need to do later on. Basically, whenever I go to like finish weld, I have to tear this thing all apart, go through and finish welding it. So I need to put some more supports and stuff in there. Everything runs together right there. It needs kind of fixed up right there, but I'll catch you guys next time. See ya.